Okay, so we're live here on tonight, and this is Blue Table Talk, and I'm your girl Jeffrey Jones. Good evening, everybody. I
Hey,
am
hey, hey, hey,
look, he already started. I ain't even introduced him.
hey.
It's all good though. It's all good. But before Brian Hooks gets started on it, we're gonna talk about COVID. Y'all know COVID is rising again, so we got to do what we need to do. CDC says if you have not taken your shot, your vaccine yet, you need to go ahead and take it because we do know that a lot of people have not taken their vaccination. And so we need to get it together. If you need to take a booster, take that booster now. If you plan on traveling, make sure you've had those booster shots. And because you need them, I just witnessed a couple of my friends with COVID, and oh heck, I thought I had it. So because I was around them, and so, but I'm good, thank God. But guess what? You got to wash your hands, you got to wear your mask, and you have to keep your distance. Am I right, guys?
Yeah, stay out my face with
Yes,
all that.
ma'am.
All
Stay,
right.
give me some space.
Give me some space. That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna turn you over now. We're gonna talk to Brian Hooks, and so Brian, tell us a little bit about yourself. Thank you for coming on Blue Table Talk first.
No, thank you for having me. My name is Brian Hooks. I'm born and raised Bakersfield, California, and I left Bakersfield to go to school. Actually, right around the corner from Hollywood, which found me in the movie. Ultimately, while I was studying in school, Fat Beach, which led to the movie High School High, which led to Beloved with Oprah Winfrey and Danny Glover, which led to my TV show with Eve and all those good folks, the Eve Show, Soul Plane, Three Strikes, and a number of independent films. So I've been truly blessed and having a good time, and just trying to keep things moving forward.
So you're an actor, comedian, producer, and a director, right?
Yep. I stepped out and sort of accidentally on purpose made this small independent film called Q that was absolutely horrible, but it was funny. And we had ended up doing it for like 13 grand, me and a buddy scraped together some funds. If we knew what we was doing, we probably wouldn't have done it, but we did. And that little $13,000 film made $800,000. And we sort of found a niche for ourselves where we can make these small, modest, independent films and distribute them through mid-level distributors. And we had an audience. And so that coincide with my acting and put me in a position to where I never really had to wait on anyone, that was been my foundation to live and breathe. And then that evolved into organically all my stuff was comedy, and all my friends were always pulling me to get into the stand-up ring. And I think it may be 10 15 years later I dove in and fell in love with it. And so the past, I don't know how many years I've been out on that road, telling my truths that people seem to think is funny, but I'm just telling what it is.
Right. Wow. So when was your first acting role, and where was it?
The first acting role was Fat Beach. And, I was different in the sense that my first acting role was actually a leading role. And they had this little magazine called Dramalog, which is now Backstage West, to where you can look in there and they would list projects that were going on, independent projects, union, non-union, short films. And so they had this non-union film called Fat Beach, and I submitted myself with my headshots that I got done. 6 or 7 auditions later, they chose me for the part. And the director was Doug Ellen, who created Entourage, and Jermaine Huggy Hopkins from Juice and Lean on Me co-starred with me. And so that was sort of the beginning for me. So it was a big beginning. And since then, I kind of been blessed to just keep on trucking along.
Right. So let me talk to my audience right now. Guys, if you are, I see some of you guys on my phone and not yet on the comment section page. So come over, transfer over to the comment page. Just tell Brian hello. And also Latoya, tell her hello as well. And so when you do that, throw me some questions out there so that we can talk to Brian right now. And Brian, look, what film did you produce or direct?
I did. Well, I did my first. Well, I produced all my independent films, and I had a buddy, Barry Bowles, the first um, handful of films that we did together. He directed, and we co-produced. And then my directorial debut was a film called '75, um, which did extremely well, and it was a horror film. And then from there, I did a movie called Laughing to the Bank, which was a comedy that I produced, wrote, and directed. And I just finished a film called Adam and Eve that will be out soon on digital platform, which is different than what I usually do because it's a drama. And but I think people are gonna love it. The response with the very chosen few who have seen it this far have really, really loved it. It's sort of, if you remember uh, Jason's Lyric, if you
Yes,
remember that film, yes, this is sort of that same feel and same tone,
right.
you know. And so that'll be dropping in the next couple of months. And then I just finished one called Romantic Comedy. So I'm trying to keep everything moving and grooving, and you know, not letting no grass grow under my feet.
So what you doing all that? How do you define time for for comedy, stand up comedy?
What a thing, you know, what the blessing has been in us stepping out and accidentally on purpose making that first independent film. We sort of figured out a way to where we don't really have to answer to anyone. You know,
Mm.
I've done the big films, Fool's Gold, you know, a $90 million budget, you know, the Eve show, which was network TV. But what that independence and me doing my modest independent films have done is allowed me to sort of create my own path and create my own schedule. You know what I mean? Because everything sort of, you know, I dictate the who, what, when, and where, and how. So most times, not all the times, but most times, the you know the stand-ups falls on the weekend, and I can create a schedule if I'm filming that allows me to do that. Or if it's you know, too intense a schedule, then you know, for that month or month and a half, then maybe I can't go out on the road. But I just work it out and map it out because I truly, you know, stand up is the most difficult form of entertainment. You know, with acting, you know, you forget something or something doesn't work, you yell cut, you talk about it, you do it again and again and again. Well, stand up, if you forget something out there, they're gonna let you know. You know what I mean? If something don't work, it's real time. Like, and 2 minutes can seem like 2 years when folks is looking at you crazy, like, nah. Pay a couple dollars to come here. You need to say something interesting. And if you don't, they let you know. And so it's an energy and an adrenaline you get from that. And I took the time to really study the craft, so I don't run into that much. But every audience is different, and hey, you catch them in the wrong mood, yeah, they gonna let you know. So
Let you know, huh?
I enjoy both. I love the comedy, and so I make time to make sure I balance the two because I gotta have them both in my life.
Right, right. Being a comedian is hard work, right?
It's the most difficult form of entertainment. Yes, absolutely.
Wow. That's something because it look like it seems as though I can say something, you can pick up from my lines and make a joke out of it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, but
it's
that you can't make no living off of that. Hoping somebody say something interesting that you could go off of. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like we came here to watch you. Don't yeah, I'm not, you know, now if I happen to say something and we vibe off that, great. But you going there expecting that somebody in the audience is gonna say something interesting does not work out. Now
it's not
there
work.
are comics because they are seasoned and great who are great playing with the crowd, but when you come, say if you headlining to do 45 minutes, ain't nobody come. We didn't come to chit chat. You know, we came
Right,
to see your
right.
show. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Or else we could have went on D Jones podcast and did this. You know what I mean? Like we done got a ticket. Toya done told us she done got a theater. Entertain me. And
right.
so, and you know, when you think about it, you know, let's say your headliner or something, just 45 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour to hold someone, or even 5 minutes to hold someone's attention. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? In today's world, like
Right,
it's
like
it's a task. So you better come up there with something interesting to say and engage the audience, or it's gonna be a long night.
All night. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So let me go back to my audience and talk to my audience. Guys, remember Brian Hooks is on. We were waiting for Brumman as well because both of them were supposed to be on tonight. But
he probably still on the 5th floor. He coming down from the
coming down from the 5th floor. Oh,
yeah, he coming down from the 5th floor.
And he might make it, right?
Right.
So Tori, see if the 5th floor man can make it on right now. So
okay, give me a minute.
All right. So what happens if you tell a joke and people don't laugh? What happens?
Well, you know, that's the thing. What you learn is every audience has its own personality. And so often at a club, you might do 2 shows. You might do a 7 o'clock and a 9 o'clock or 9:30. And so just because everything went well at that 7 o'clock, that 9:30 audience could have a completely different personality. And they might not think anything you saying is interesting. So as you become more and more seasoned, you learn to adapt to the personality of the audience. You learn that, like, okay, this is not a audience that wants to talk about marriage and relationships. They, and so you get this instinct to where you have to shift on the fly, and that requires having a lot of material, because if you don't and something ain't goes awry, then you stuck. And that 2 minutes, 1 minute, 5 minutes will seem like 5 years when it goes bad. So it's just, with experience and material, you learn to segue and adapt on the fly to keep your audience entertained. But as you hear sometime through social media, some of the biggest, stand-up comics out there, they have bad nights where the audience and them just, it ain't work. Like we not trying to hear that, or we not into that, or we not feeling you today. Right. And it's just one of those, it's part of the, it's part of stand-up comedy, and you have to shake it off and sometimes come back and do a second show in that same theater. And you got to commit and go hard. But that's just the reality. You're going to run into a crowd that just ain't feeling it. And as all my shows recently have been amazing, but trust, around the corner, you're going to catch the audience on the wrong day, and then they ain't want to hear none of that 3 strikes soap. I don't care about none of that, and then we're going to have to talk. We're going to have to figure it out. And so it's just part of that stand-up comedy. And you see these comics who have, audiences laughing for 45 minutes and so on. That's a talent. That's not on accident. That's not them just going up there and saying, hey, how was your day? So on and so forth. These folks have been working that material out and exercising that muscle, and they're to be commended. If you can get a group of people to sit around and listen to you for 5, 10, 15 minutes, an hour, that's a talent, and it's part of it. It's not going to always go good.
Like you said, it is hard work, and because people think you could be a comedian and it's gonna be easy work for you to do. Just stand there and talk. Like you said, it's hard work. Yes, ma'am.
It's a different kind of muscle. People think like, oh, I make my friends laugh all the time. I make my spouse laugh all the time. I'm the funny one in class. That does not necessarily translate to the stage. One night. And people, with their drinks, like, okay, it's completely different. There's an art to it, and it's not about just hup chucking with your buddies in the circle. Being on that stage is a different animal. So it's it ain't no joke, but I love it.
So why is it that you don't have a nickname? You Brian Hooks is your real name?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so like we got Hamburger, you got Shuckatucky, and you got Honest John, and I mean you don't have a nickname like everybody.
Well, it depends on when I at. They call me when I come to Texas, they call me Big Chocolate. But, yeah, so they call me different things. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know what your audience is. Like here comes Chocolate. Yeah. So
well, compared to Ernest John, you chocolate boo.
yeah. No, that's just, I started in acting and that's my name,
Right.
you know what I mean? And so I stand with that,
Okay, so one of our audience listeners said, "Have you ever found yourself at a loss for words in the middle of a show?"
Yes, yes. And it was funny because that was in I think it was in San Antonio, Texas. And I found myself, because you're on your toes and you're thinking, and I found myself, it was a weird feeling, like I was hearing myself, and I was like, yo, B, you need to pull it together, because
Right.
I just didn't I felt like I was watching instead of performing. And the next thing you know, it was the punchline on the joke, and I said it wrong. And when you mix those two up, the whole joke don't make sense. And so I just owned it right there. And I was like, oh shit, y'all, I done messed up that whole punchline. Don't judge me. I don't come to y'all work judging you. I'm gonna run that joke back again, and I'm gonna end it. And so I think that me being real about it, it ended up being funnier than the actual joke that I was telling.
Yeah.
Because that's just it. If you slip up, and it can, and it's just gonna happen. You up there for 45 minutes, 50 minutes, show after show. You're not a robot. That's why the one thing with a comedy, you have to know your material.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, you can have a glitch like a computer, and so yeah, that has happened to me.
So do you find yourself stuttering sometimes?
On stage, nah.
No.
No, it's yeah, I'm one who I know my material, and I know what I'm saying, and I try to, listen and play for the room.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, it's pretty, you know what I mean? Once, because I'm a storyteller, you know what I mean? And I tell stories that are, true to me, and it may be things that happened to me that weren't funny at the time. But
Mm-hmm.
now that they pass and it's okay, you step outside yourself and look at it, and then you find the humor in that real life. And so, most of my jokes are, I'm a storyteller. And so, um, I know those stories. I know
Right.
those stories.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That'll work. So let me go back to my listening audience. Guys, thank you for coming on tonight. I appreciate you, Melanie, Judy, Lillian, Cheryl Chambers. I appreciate you guys for coming on. And I need everybody who's on here, whether you're on my phone or whether you're on the comment page, hit that share button, because sharing is caring. And we want to let everybody know that Brian Hooks is on tonight. We still awaiting Brahman or not? She just went off on me, huh?
She muted. She muted.
You muted.
I'm sorry. Maybe he got tied up. I texted him. He didn't respond yet. I spoke to him earlier, but maybe something happened.
What you say, Brian? He's still doing what?
He's still on that. He coming down here, stuck on that fire escape on the fifth floor. Yeah. He on that fifth floor that he's stuck on that fire escape.
Hey, Mark, what's up, Mark? Okay, so Brian, do you write your own routines?
Yes, I do. I write all my own stuff. Like I said, I'm a storyteller, and it's all based on like my real life experience. My journeys. My kids. And all that. It's all comes from a real place. And I'd like to say that people connect to what I say, because I think it's and those cats that tell jokes are hilarious and they work, but I think it's something about the storytelling when it's true, when they know it stems for you, that really sticks with them. And so that's sort of what I do. It's always about me, and it's the stuff that, like I say, you might can't say in your real life. You know what I mean? But on stage, you can let it fly. You can let it fly. You can say what everybody else wish they could say about their kids, but they can't.
So do your children get mad at you when you talk?
Sounds rid of eggs.
No, now that they say now, as long as I bring home a little change, they all do. Okay, you said that, okay, but I'm gonna get them shoes right. We're gonna get them shoes. Let's go. No, my kids have a great sense of humor, and You know what I mean? And they've heard some of the jokes, and they find it funny. They find it funny. Yeah.
So have you ever been to Texas?
I've been to Texas. I was in Arlington, Texas. I guess maybe a month ago. Had a show out there, and then yeah, I've been to Texas a couple. I've never been to Beaumont, and I've only been through Houston. Surprisingly, I have not really made it out that way, so I'm looking to taste the food and and get a little sense of the culture out there.
What? You in for a good treat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I have a question.
Okay.
Do you ever talk about like your past relationships, and do they get upset about it when you make fun of it?
Yeah, I do. Part of my set is my divorce, and so I talk about that a bit, and she hasn't really saw the set, so so
You
I
gonna be
don't
like
know.
Kevin Hart?
Yeah. So I can't really answer that, but once we shoot this special top of the year, then I'll let you know. But no, but it's nothing crazy. It's nothing crazy, and it's just a very honest point of view of mine. And but I don't think I don't think they would. I don't think they would. But we'll see.
We'll see. Very said there's nothing like Texas.
Oh, Texas! Woo! I'm ready.
I'm telling you, man, when you get here, you're gonna say, first you're gonna say, man, it's hot out here.
Oh yeah.
First thing you're gonna say, I guess I'm ready to joke.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Definitely hot out here. Cheryl Chambers wants to know. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I was seeing Cheryl's question.
Oh, she said, what advice would you have for someone who finds it difficult to speak in front of an audience?
I think it's just the muscle you have to exercise. Just like if you were playing a sport, you would have the basketball, you have to practice basketball. Just like if you were a hairstylist, you'd have to, practice doing hair. You can't just show up. And I think with speaking, when it's not something that comes naturally, it's the same thing. And you have to find those moments and spaces to where you can comfortably speak and grow into that. They have a thing called Toastmasters, which is actually just for that. It's a group that meets once a week, and it's a place to where everybody is the same thing. Like, I'm not really comfortable speaking in public, and so they exercise and give you tips and tricks to make you more comfortable. And I think they meet for like an hour a week, and it's just exercising it in front of a small group and getting a lot of tips, tricks, and things like that to help you get over that fear of speaking in public in front of people. But it's just a muscle you're gonna have to exercise. But at the end of the day, what's the worst that can happen? You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna lose your car, you're not gonna lose your house, you're not gonna lose your life. If you go up there, just let it go. Maybe it goes well, but if it don't, what's the worst that can happen? You could still go get something to eat with your family after, like you planned. You know what I mean? Tomorrow's still gonna come. Your kids still gonna love you. What's the worst that can happen? And I think when you look at it like that, it strip away some of the, the angst that comes along with it.
So I hear you talking about your children. Are you married?
I
know you say you're divorced, but are you married now?
Yeah, divorced. And and then so my kids, I don't like them. I like them in real life. When I'm on the stage, I don't like them. You know what I mean? So I can say all the stuff that the social worker come and get me for, if you know what I mean, if I say it in real life, but on stage, they think I'm joking, and so
but you for real, right?
I'm dead ass. And so I tried marriage, didn't like it, tried it again, and we're gonna see how it goes. But when I get on stage, I just hide behind, oh, he just joking. No, I ain't joking.
So you say you plan on trying it again? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I tried it again. Yep.
Or you tried it twice?
Yeah, and so we're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna see how it goes.
Well, it's gonna go. It's gonna go right if you do right. You gotta do the right thing.
Everybody gotta do right.
Oh, what?
No,
Somebody.
it's amazing. It's amazing. It's gonna continue to be amazing.
Oh yeah, it is amazing. It is amazing. What do you do with hecklers?
You know, you have to. It depends, and it all depends. Sometimes you have folks who are so drunk when you get that one. You know, they're not going to stop, right? So addressing it and trying to move on doesn't work because they're past the point to where they think they whispering. Like they don't even know they being loud. They think they whisper like, what's wrong with him? Why are you calling out? You know, and then you have the others who, you know, who just want to be a part of the show. So you make them part of the show in the worst way. You make them part of the show in the worst way. And the thing with a heckler is we have the microphone, right? So while you know most people can't hear you unless I repeat what you say, everybody can hear me. And so you always ready to take on the heckler and turn them upside down quickly. But as I say, once you get some of those drunkies, that could be that could be a problem because they're not even, you know, cognizant of everything that's going on.
But on hecklers, don't they have to show because you can talk on them, talk about them.
Yeah, if you are a comic to tell jokes, yes. If you're a storyteller and you're breaking up that story, you know what I mean? Then it doesn't so much. Like I don't need no help. I don't need you to help me. I ain't come there to do a show based around you. You know what I mean? Some comics do. Some comics come and they need that back and forth with the audience, and that works for them great. So they welcome that. But if you're a storyteller, as I am, then no, you don't want anyone, you know, interrupting that energy and that flow and that rhythm.
Right. I see what you're saying. So how long have you been a comedian?
I've been doing comedy. It's probably been maybe 10 years now. Yeah, somewhere like 7 to 10, which it went fast, it seems. It doesn't seem that long, but it's been a minute. And again, you know, my friends, because I started, you know, most of my TV and film was comedy, assumed that I did stand up, but I didn't. And they've been telling me with my time and I need to try and get into it for forever. And I tell you, once I did, you know, I completely understood what they were talking about because it's just, I mean, it's just great. Stand-up comedy is the best form of entertainment.
Have you ever been on a stage with D.L. Hughley and the rest of the gang?
I have never performed with DL. No, I haven't been. I performed with some more and most. I haven't performed with DL. I haven't. Who else? Yeah, but not DL, not yet. But I'm a big fan, and DL is a friend, and I look forward to one day, you know, being able to share the same stage with DL.
Okay, everybody, we're talking to Brian Hooks tonight. He's part of the dream team of comedy legends that are coming here to Beaumont, Texas, July 23rd. 765 Pearl Street, which is the Julie Rogers Theater. And we need you there. We need you in the place. We need you to beat us there. Not meet us there, but beat us there. And so the doors open at 7:30 and the show starts at 8 o'clock. So tonight we have on the program, on the podcast at the table, Brian Hooks. So don't forget, hit that share button because some of you guys not sharing. Because sharing is caring. You care about what's going on in your city, then hit that share button. Okay? So I'll go back to Brian. Oh, Mark Zenon says, check out the barbecue. I thought he said check
Beaumont, out barbecue in Beaumont.
Yeah.
Okay, for sure. That's done.
Mark lives in California. So
okay.
Yeah, he's my cousin, but he's from Beaumont.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I definitely got to check out the barbecue.
Check out the barbecue.
Is there any specific spots in Beaumont that I want to try? I want the hole in the wall spot.
No, you don't.
All them whole
No, you know.
I got you, Brian. I got you. We're not going to no hole in the wall.
They use that the best food, but nah, I'm gonna follow your lead. I know I'm smart enough to do that.
We here, Huntoya. We got you, huh?
Yeah, we got her.
We're not gonna let you slip through hole. We got you. What's the most important thing that you've learned in life about being a comedian?
I think the most important thing, I think it's just you have to find a space to where you're honest on stage, to where your material represents you, and opposed to trying to figure out what is the audience liking or what comedian is doing well and trying to emulate or trying to adapt their form of comedy. I think you have to make it personal at the end of the day. It has to be something that what you're talking about has to be something that is personal to you. You know what I mean? Something that is real to you. If you up there talking about something that you don't do or never done or you don't such and such, then the audience is gonna feel that. You know what I mean? They won't say, I don't think they ever done that, but it's gonna be a disconnect. And I think the biggest thing I would say is that you have to, the comedy has to come from the heart. It has to be something within you. It has to be something that you passionate about. It has to be your story, your own.
Right. So, Toya, are we getting away tickets tonight or what?
Yes, ma'am. I do have one question before I forget.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you a class clown in school, Brian? Because you look like maybe you were.
I did enough. I got my little C+, B-, and then I was showing my ass. Luckily, the teachers liked me, so I never really got in trouble. But yeah, I like to have a good time. There's probably some kids out there who like Brian Hooks ruined my life when he had said that thing. I have never been able to get past that. I know I always felt like Maury or Oprah, like somebody was gonna call me on and be like, "You ruined my life," and I want an apology. But so
Brian, were you a bully?
It wasn't a bully, but it ain't funny when people laughing at you, talking about you. You know what I mean? So bully, I think bully is. Well, first it unevolved. You can't say nothing no more. You know what I mean?
Really?
But back then, you know what I mean? Like we ain't had no rules. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't have no rules. And so in hindsight, I probably said some stuff about people that I probably shouldn't have said. Right. Hey, I'm sorry. Move on with your life. Did not know. I was young and dumb back then. Now I'm old and dumb, but I'm sorry.
And I bet your mother stayed on you.
Yeah, she sure did. Oh, yeah.
What before we go to our ticket drawing, are we gonna get 2 or 4?
We're gonna give away. Let's do 1 set today.
1 set. Okay. What's the most important thing about that people miss?
How many people do we have on?
Oh, we have quite a few. That's why I said, are we gonna get 1 set or 2 sets? Oh, she didn't shut me off, huh? She just shut me off.
Yeah. You muted.
I live in the woods, so I'm coming in and out. I'm sorry.
Are you going to say something?
No, I'm listening to you guys. Yes, ma'am. We can give away tickets.
2 or 4?
We can go ahead and do 4. That's fine.
All right, so we're gonna give away 2 sets. Okay, so what is the most important thing that people misunderstand about Brian Hooks?
I think the biggest thing is people may not understand like my independence. People want to see me, I think, or at least they say, in big studio films, which I want to see me in those too. But my foundation would, pays for these kids private school is independent filmmaking, right? And so with that, it's for me, it allows me to not have to compromise my morals, my beliefs, and make a living for myself. You know what I
Right.
mean? But sometimes doing the films at the studio level, you kind of forced to compromise a lot of things. And so I think they, like we, three strikes, man, we love you, we want to see you with this and that. But they don't understand that I am working. It's just, my business is independent filmmaking. And for me, it's the ownership, the entrepreneurship, and the ability to, sort of, pave my own way and sort of dictate my own route, opposed to waiting to be called. I'm being progressive and making things happen on my own. And I think people, they sometimes don't get that, that's a choice and that's a powerful position. You know what I mean? Because they don't see me on there. It's just like they have a lot of independent music artists that you've never heard of, that if they go to any hood, it's like, yo, that's a little dum dum over there. That's a little dum dum. You be like, who the hell is little dum dum? That's a little dum dum. He got the hottest bit. You know what I mean? And so my audience is a very, grassroots audience, but you're not gonna hear little dum dum on the radio. You know what I mean? Little Dum Dum ain't gonna be on the radio, but
Yeah.
yeah, but Little Dum Dum is doing very well for himself.
Right.
And so I would say that's the biggest things people don't get. Like, I'm a very independent minded entrepreneur, and the path that I'm on is a good one. Been blessed.
Did your teachers ever tell you that, oh, you never amount to anything because you were still in school?
Nah, I think my mama had to talk with them. They knew not to say no shit like that. Yeah, my mom, boy, if I sneezed, then they'd say bless you. My mama was up at the school. Like, it was like, nah, that leave them kids alone. If they think they could be the president of the Ku Klux Klan, let them be. That's let them believe that they knew better than to say anything like that or anything to do. Yeah, so I didn't never had that experience though. It's funny, in my Left to Bang Entertainment, where I mentor youth and teach them the basics of filmmaking. I have a number of students, like even today, who have been told by their teachers to water down your dreams. Like, that's not realistic. And it's crazy. It's crazy that you're in education, just spitting out that message. So I was blessed to never come across that.
Right.
I hear and know a lot of people who had. It's insane.
I don't talk about. Go ahead, Toya.
No, I was gonna say that's true because my daughter's pursuing acting, and her counselor told her that she wouldn't make it doing it.
Wow.
And so I told her, I said, "It's no, you what you're not gonna do is tell my child what she's not gonna do." So now we moved to Atlanta for her to pursue her dreams.
Right. It's insane. Like, why would you say? Who are you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why don't you have the wherewithal to not even say nothing? You know what I mean? To understand you don't know. One, and two, like, that's a youth, that's a kid. They're allowed to dream. And just because you couldn't do it, you know what I mean? That don't have nothing to do with my baby. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I was one of those parents that I was there for everything. Everything.
Right.
Don't talk bad on my child, because I'm coming down there.
Yeah, he said, I'm coming down there.
And I was the educator.
Oh, that's yeah. My mama was too. My mom was too.
I would walk away from my job just to check out my children.
Yeah. I'll be back. Yeah.
I'll be back. I'll be home fast.
Yeah.
Home fast. Because I'm coming down here. Okay, we're gonna do our first set of tickets right now. And I'm writing the last name in here so I can put it in the bag. And while we're gonna do 2 sets tonight. because we're supposed to have 2 people on here tonight. That's what I'm doing. Anyway, I'm shaking. Somebody told me to shake it like what they told me? Shaking like it's a bag or something. I forgot what they said. I'm shaking like
no, Mr. Hamburger said shake it like it's flour.
Like it's flour.
Like chicken in the flour.
Put them close it up, and I'm shaking it like it's flour. But everybody on here, some my queens on here, they know I don't cook anyway, so I don't know what flour is. Okay, our first name is, let's see, Deborah Jones. I'm just playing.
Deborah. Oh.
Got your number, Brian. Oh, Isaac Mouton. Hey, Isaac.
Oh,
Isaac was good. Isaac was good.
It's to the Dream Team of Comedy, July 23rd, 2022. You won 2 tickets. Okay.
I see you at the show, Isaac. Let's go.
Now, let me tell you guys something. If I call your name for a ticket and you don't want you really don't want it, and just don't hold on to the ticket, you could gift it to someone else and that really wants to go. Okay, that'll work. That'll work. Okay, so if you remember one thing about, if you would be remembered one thing, what would it be? If somebody want to remember you
for my sexiness.
Oh shit.
I'm extremely. All right, listen. You can't feel it through here, but when you standing next to me, you like, woo! Let me get my hands back over here to my husband. You got to get away from me. You got to get away from me. Hey, listen. Hey, I'm telling you, hey, some people just got that thing. You know how you remember like Charlie Brown, or that one that was always smelly and he had that little bubble around him. I got that little like hint of sexiness around me. When you get in there, next thing you know, you be rubbing on my neck and stuff. You don't even know why. Get your hand off my neck. You don't know me like that.
Now, how many times you been married?
Huh?
How many times you been married?
I did too. Oh, you say you see the problem now, huh?
I see the problem.
You gotta see what the problem is. Hey, you asked me.
You better recognize a tall glass of water.
Yeah, people want to drink it. They want to sip and nothing else. You want me to give me a sip of that? Trying to pull out their straws and stuff. Get up off me.
I can't even ask.
That's what I want to. That's what they're gonna remember. Ooh-wee.
What Melanie Moyer was saying. Melanie Moyer says something. She says, "Salt shake up."
Shake it like a salt shaker.
Shake it like a salt shaker.
Melanie been over there dropping it like it's hot. Anybody who say that song, they've been over there twerking and making it drop like it's hot. Melanie, you just told on yourself that you were free. She probably run the church too. She was over there at the church, don't shake it like a salt shaker. You ain't even supposed to be listening to all that. It just you keep prepared for Sunday school. Them kids this weekend talk about shaking like a salt shaker.
That's what she preaching in the church, huh?
I'll see you at the show, Melanie.
Okay, so if you could turn back the she said always.
She said, oh, see, I told you.
Oh, okay, so let me see. If you could turn back the hand of time and talk up to your 18-year-old self, what would you tell him?
What are you trying to say? I'm old?
Well, I know you're not 18. I know you're not 18. I know you're not 18.
No, that's I would tell, it's funny. My parents were amazing. My parents were amazing, and they always instilled in me that the sky was the limit. And I don't know if I was smart enough or naive enough to believe, that. And I say that to say I've always just ran into everything, really believing and assuming that I would be successful at it. And so even at 18, And so so again, it was nothing to where I had this, brilliant, mature, whatever mind, but I think it was just what my parents instilled with me. I always felt like everything was attainable. But if it was one thing I would say, because I think, again, my independent filmmaking and production has been my foundation, it would be that there was a time when I was, doing my studio films and things like that, and sort of in that space to where I was waiting on them, that it just sort of, it was just a waste of time. And I would tell my younger self to keep on the path of independence and entrepreneurship. Because that block of time when I was fooling with those, these studio goofballs was just that. It was a waste of time. But my parents, again, I was either, so naive or just so trusting that I just ran into everything with open arms, assuming that I would be successful.
Any siblings?
Yeah, I got a brother and a sister. All of my family are mostly in education. My mother was a teacher. I went to school to be a teacher, but then started with filmmaking. My brother's a teacher, and my sister's a teacher. So we some education folks.
During the holidays, y'all be just having a hallelujah good time, huh?
Huh?
During the holidays, y'all have like a
Oh
hallelujah.
yeah. Oh yeah, we have a ball. We board games with the Monopoly and the Uno and yeah, we have a good time.
Go sit down, Brian. Sit
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, we have a good time, And then that was so the world's so crazy now. Unless you trip and you really enjoy that time with family now, because there's so much nonsense and so many people who aren't able to for whatever reason, that I really, really enjoy our time together now.
Right. Hey, especially now.
Yeah.
We done been through so much.
Yes.
We got to enjoy each day as each day for a day.
Exactly.
Now, earlier you said that comedy was hard, but how do people get into it and they knowing that it's hard? Why do you
I think well, that's the first thing. It can't just be something that you think would be cool to do. It has to be a passion, and you have to be serious about it, and you have to study. Like, there are classes you could take that teach you the art of comedy. David Arnold, who I took his class, it teaches you so you understand that you're not just up there looking for a laugh, just when am I going to hear the next laugh? That there's an art, and you understand what you're trying to accomplish, and you understand that you have to set up, and then the story, and the punchline, set up, joke, punchline, that there's an art to it. And so you need to go online, find a class, go and watch comedians whenever you can, and begin to study and the different comics and the different types of comedy. And then at that point, you have to start writing. You don't just go up there and wing it. You write out some jokes, write out your stories, write what you feel is funny, write what you feel is true to you. And then the next step is going up there and finding a stage to where you can try to, next is work out that material. Go up there, see what it works, see what it sounds like, see how it goes. So it's a whole process. And it's just like we were talking about, the young lady who was talking about speaking in front of folks. It's the same thing. You have to exercise that muscle, because if you go up there unprepared and you do get a shot, nobody's going to laugh. It doesn't work like that. You're not, just because you're funny, it does not correlate to you having a successful set on stage. You have to know what you're doing.
I know you've probably been all over the world with your comedy and whatever. So what was the best city you performed in? And since you haven't performed in Beaumont yet, and why was it the best city?
Well, Beaumont, I'm sure, gonna top this city, but
you already know that.
Yeah. But I would probably say the Bay Area. Up in the Bay Area, for one, the folks in the Bay know me well because I spend a lot of time up there, have a lot of family up there, and E40, who is like this is an icon up there, the rapper. He and I have done multiple projects together. So the energy when we went up there, it was just on another level. And I hands down, that's been the best. That's been the best city yet. But until Beaumont, so it's gonna be second best after next weekend.
Who gonna be second best? California, the Bay Area.
Yeah, Beaumont gonna be number one.
Number one, boo. You better recognize.
You got church girls dropping it like it's shaking like a salt shaker. Yeah, it's gonna be cracky. You got barbecue. All come on now.
And you better recognize this is big money Texas.
Yeah, come on now. This will be on the popping.
Right.
On it, popping.
What? Okay, before this happens, we're gonna show up another ticket. I mean, I'm shaking like a salt shaker's bell, man.
Shaking like a salt shaker. Look at it.
Never say we got oxtails out here too. You eat oxtails?
I ain't had no oxtails in a long time, but I'm down. Whatever y'all do out there that's good, that's what I want to eat.
All right, now don't be recognized. And you probably pick up some people down here to be in your movie.
We do that too. I'm always looking for new talent. We can do that too.
Yeah, I am. Okay. Let's see who we got here. Oh, drum roll. There you go. How about that? Deborah Jones is on the ball. Oh, Judy Emmons. Hey, Judy, you want to?
Judy. Okay, Judy, I see you.
Yeah, I see you, Judy.
Judy.
Hey. Judy Emmons.
I see you at the show, Judy. Yes.
So we already talked about the hecklers and everything. But Judy said, "Yeah."
Okay.
Shake
it like a salt shaker, girl.
Yeah. We got that going on.
Like a salt shaker, Judy.
That's my cousin. Okay, so Brian, tell us the lineup on the show. Who was the lineup?
Ooh, we got Hamburger. We got Honest John. We got Bruh Man. He's stuck on the fifth floor. But trust me, we gonna get him off the fifth floor and into the theater. We got Chris Thomas. We got myself. We got Shucky Ducky. Who did I leave out?
Nobody.
Yeah. So it's just a good time. These cats are all legends, and I'm lucky to be able to share the stage with them. So I'm gonna do my show and I'm gonna be enjoying the show because these are cats that I would pay to see. So it's a blessing, and it's gonna be I guarantee it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time.
Check this out. Check this out. Melon Combo said that's my birthday.
Melon, okay.
Happy birthday.
Hey, come on out and get some cake. I'm gonna have some cake. Get you some cake. Don't get caught up in that cloud of sexiness though now. That sexiness and that birthday vibes, you girl. Hey. You better go have some oxtails and sit down now.
And sit yourself down.
Yeah, sit down now.
So how do you like working with the group?
Love it. The folks I'm performing with?
Yes.
Amazing. Like I said, I know them. I'm fans of them before working with them. So you know what I mean? It's you be like you start doing acting, and then now you acting next to these folks who you enjoy watching and seeing their movies. So for me to be, the Honest Johns, the Hamburger, the Shucky Ducky, the Chris Thomas, the Bruh Man are all folks who I enjoy just as a fan. So to be able to work with them is just it's just that, like, you know what I mean? It's you know, it's crazy, and I just enjoy it. I just enjoy it to be, you know, a fan working with, you know, and now your peers is just great, and they hilarious.
So how do you find time being an actor and a comedian?
Like I said, you know, because of the independent filmmaking, I'm able to shape my own schedules, and do it accordingly. So I just make sure that it doesn't coincide. Now, the times when I'm doing studio stuff, you don't have any control over that. But you know, I usually kind of have a ballpark idea of when I'm shooting. Like I'm going into a film uh production, probably pre-production next month, the next film, and then shooting in September. So you sort of know that, and so when they call about those September dates, you know, you schedule accordingly. But it's just all planning. But you know, like my what is she, 4 or 5 year old co-star Olivia used to tell you, I'm booked and busy, baby. I'm booked and busy. Wait till you guys see this little girl in this romantic comedy I just did. These kids, like, they were amazing. Quentin, these kids were so talented. Quentin, Azuri, and Olivia. These kids are so talented. You guys gonna love this movie. But as she say, I'm booked and busy.
What name was the name of the movie again?
It's still untitled. It's an untitled romantic comedy.
Mhm.
Still haven't set on an actual name, but it's about these two divorcees who share 3 kids, and for convenience, they just agreed to temporarily move back in with one another to help out. And once they're back under the same roof, they're reminded of all the reasons they got divorced, but they're also reminded of all the reasons they fell in love. And
Right.
so, you know, they sort of struggle with a lot of funny and drama and sexiness to you know, to try to snap it back together. And so
Right.
it's a good ride. These kids were absolutely amazing.
Right. Toya, how can our people pick up their tickets?
Everyone can pick up their tickets Friday from the box office, or they can wait until the night of the show, and it'll be at the box office.
And their name will be on it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When you say Friday, what Friday are you talking about? Friday.
This Friday.
This Friday?
Yes, ma'am.
At the box. Okay. So if you want any tickets, remember you can pick them up at the box office on Friday, or wait till the night of the show and pick them up then. So remember that tonight we're talking to Brian Hooks, who is part of the dream team of comedy legends. And so they'll be here July 23rd, July 23rd, July 23rd. So that's in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
2022, not 2023, 2022. And we're going to be at the Julia Rogers Theater, which is located 765 Pearl Street. The doors open at 7:30, and then the show starts at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock our time or 8 o'clock CP time?
Yeah.
They need to be there for 7. The doors open at 7. The show will start promptly at 8 o'clock.
Okay. Y'all heard, right? Okay, y'all.
Look, we, like Honest John said, we're not gonna be on CP time.
Right?
Yeah.
He sure was on CP time.
He was.
Y'all get there, and you know who won a ticket, and so who won a ticket tonight and the prior nights. So I want to talk to my audience. Hello, Judy, Melanie, Vera, Cheryl Chambers. Let me see, Terry Roy. Hello, guys, and let me see who else on here tonight. Kathy Wingate, Sherry Biggers, Rodney Vaughn. Let's see who else. Laura Casimore, Damiana Reed, Donna Jubert. Hello, you guys. Thank you for joining Blue Table Talk tonight. Jeanette Washington, Vera Berry, Mark Zenon, all the way from California. Don Wingate, Alberta Wright, Rosa Hubbard, and Richard Lewis, Lillian Brown, Iris Roberts. So thank you guys for joining Blue Table Talk. Isaac Muto, I can't forget Isaac. He just won a ticket. So thank you for joining Blue Table Talk tonight. Tonight we have Brian Hooks, and you know, I just truly enjoyed you tonight. Truly enjoyed you.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, this is one of the best nights.
Yeah,
it was
one of the best nights. So I'm gonna get my audience up. You just stay on for a minute. Thank you,
y'all. Hey, audience, y'all keep shaking it like a salt shaker.
we gave away 4 tickets tonight, so which was in increments of 2. But next, are we having anybody next week, Toria?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Chris will be on. Chris Thomas, the host.
Okay, Chris Thomas, the host, will be on next week. So y'all tune into Blue Table Talk next Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. As always, I love you guys, smooching. And if I can help somebody as I pass along the way, you know that my living is not in vain. God bless you and keep you. It's my prayer. Good night, guys.